Hello guys, this is Lidow again for WCR Replays doing another audio. This time I turned on one of those little two audios in one things. So yeah, I want to try this again. So honestly, load up replay number 1, get that to the 45-second mark, 1x speed, and then we'll get that started. So 1 second while I just actually find the own replay of mine. Where is it? There we go. It's the new Jello 21, okay. So anywho, we're doing double undead versus random and undead this game. Basically, me and Doc are just fooling around on these accounts. You can see my name is 8CIL. It is indeed me. You just spell that backwards for Lich. Normally we're doing double Lich rushes, but eventually we switched over to do something else. Sort of. We still do the double Lich, but he doesn't. He goes Dreadlord, I think, now instead. But anywho, yeah. So like I said, we're double undead. We don't have any Death Knights in either of these games, so that's really rare. So yeah. Hopefully you get that replay to the 45-second mark, 1x speed, and we'll get it started in 3, 2, 1, on pause. Okay, put the vision on me, preferably a fog or off, like I said before. You can see I'm basically doing your standard crit theme build. So the only difference is I switch up the altar and the ziggurat, so I can constantly be making ghouls. It's a pretty easy build order, and basically I'll just be massing up ghouls for a little while, and eventually add it in my shop. You can see my ally Cynical Dog is also just mainly going ghouls, but he doesn't have need for a graveyard for a while. Eventually though he does make it, because he'll end up with necromancers, which are pretty good early on, even if you are against night elves and humans and etc. You can see our opponents are Moo Dash. He's a really good FFA player. I think he's probably gotten number 1 at least a few times, and I didn't really bother to check his other stats. And Jello 21, who I think is said to be a map hacker, but he wasn't wiped, so I don't know the story behind that. And he's a level 29 Night Elf player. So it should be a pretty interesting game, and it is. We do a really comical strategy. I think I already did this strategy before on audio, but it was against orcs, and it wasn't in teams. So yeah, take that. So you can see I also gotta go with the Lich, as my name says. I throw up my shop. I think my ally actually gave me 100 gold right there, just so I can get everything fit in there nicely. Because with this builder, you can't have everything unless you get extra gold. I mean, by everything I mean constantly making your ghouls and get everything else that you need. So yeah. So you can see my ally scouting with a ghoul. He should have scouted a lot earlier than he did, otherwise he could have probably kept that ghoul right there. It's going to get entangled a moment and kill it off. And you can see it does that right there. Really absolutely nothing you can do about that but just scout really early and pray that you get there before it's too late. But normally though, you're probably going to lose your ghoul. So we just gotta hope to find the undead scouting and knock the night off. But it didn't work out that way, so it's okay. And you can see he went Dreadlord. And I'm pretty sure he goes sleep this game, because that's just a really good counter. That's pretty much the only counter to entangle there is early on. So yeah. So you can see I have a Lich now. I made my 6th Acolyte. Obviously I'm not going to send one of the Acolytes on my gold to go tower rush the other undead. That is indeed what we're doing. Also we'll have a lot of units as well, so basically while they try and get rid of our units, I build up my towers, and once they're up they really lose, pretty much. While this game it's a bit different, sort of. Not really though. You can see also I picked up a Dust of Appearance. Since I'm up against a Night Elf, I can always just use that in case he tries to hide. And I put that to good use, I think. Can't remember though. Pretty sure it goes to good use. Would have been even better if they went like a Priestess of the Moon or Warden or something. So that way I can also get the hero. But oh well, Keeper's fine. So we want to obviously hit the Undead first, because towering the other Night Elf won't work thanks to Wisp and they're dispelling us. So we catch Moo creeping, we sleep him, we surround him, he's going to have to teleport out, which is good for us. So now we go after, we see Jello 21 was also there, so we're going to go after him next. Thankfully, to a crappy unit pathing, his Keeper's stuck behind, and he'll be surrounded and killed off, or actually be forced to teleport instantly, and he shadow melts right before he does it. I'm not going to bother using the dust right there, because it'd be really pointless since I know I'm not going to get anything in time. And very luckily for us, he teleports to his own base, so now we can go start attacking Moo, and he can't really do too much back to us since it's a 2-on-1, and we obviously have a huge amount of numbers on him. So we run in there, we sleep the Death Knight first, but we're not going to be able to get back there in time to kill it. That's okay. And you can see I start putting up the towers. I put up 4. I probably should have put them in a different area, but these end up working because he could upgrade those spirit towers, and he will be doing that. But in the end, it works out okay for us. So we run back in there. You can see also a bunch of skeletons that help us out. I'm just using Frost Nova and everything. You can see there's a lot of weak crit fiends, so they'll go down pretty quickly. And in comes Jello21 with his archers and keepers, so I send all my ghouls back. When I get those archers, I use the dust right now, and they're just sitting ducks, and they'll go down very quickly. You can see they're just, dropping instantly. So we'll continue to kill those off. And now they eventually reposition themselves. I set rally points for my ghouls to constantly be attacking the archers. The Dust of Appearance still is on, so the archers are dead. And you can see that Mua now has 2 spirit towers, and he's able to take down mine without too many problems. But I still managed to get 3 ziggurats up. I think I might just let that one die though, because I can't repair it quick enough because I only have 1 acolyte. Don't really rely too much on repairing. You can see I'm going to be able to make 1 spirit tower. I'm going to reconstruct a few more ziggurats. Now I'm going to target his shop simply because I don't want him to get a route of necromancy. That's really the only reason. Look, you can see he hasn't started to attack at all, so yeah, and he won't be able to attack at all because he has to constantly be repairing, and if he was to attack, he wouldn't be able to make any more acolytes, and if he were to go right to them, he'd be screwed. So our first spirit tower is up, and those things are really, really good. They do a lot of damage, and you just can't take them down. It's really annoying for both sides in this game. You can see I'm also constantly producing ghouls rallied to my hero. Problem is I'm not really good at macroing and attacking opponent's base at the same time, so my tech is really bad in this game. But oh well. You can see that they still have 2 spirit towers in Nerubian. They're just basically trying to take down my own tower, but that's not going to work too well. You can see I almost have the second one up and a third one almost done, and the 4th one starting. So now I'm going to go try and focus on the spirit towers, but with mass repair, fortified armor, 5 armor, it's not going to happen. So we're just going to run back and get rid of the fiends now instead. But the towers are really just going to take a huge pounding to us. But basically it's all about just buying time until we get our own spirit towers up, because we know once we get like 4 of those up, they don't really stand a chance. But the one good thing is they do have a Night Elf on their team, so if they really wanted to, they can make glaive throwers. And eventually they'll get around to doing that, but for now they aren't. So Jelly does desperate attempt, has a demon hunter for a second, teleports in, but that's not going to work too well with just archers, and we have ghouls. Although most of them have been killed off at this point because we're being a bit clumsy with their sending them into the back. It didn't work out too well. But yeah, we do have those 4 spirit towers up, so they're in deep, deep trouble at the moment, as they can't really stop those. And eventually they'll wither away that necropolis, so they can't also make any more acolytes, which will come into play later. So at this point I know that I can't really attack them that well. Although I am holding on, I see that one crit fiend's really low health, but I don't really have anything to kill it with. I just had the Lich. I'm waiting for a Frost Nova, and eventually I'll get it. I'll get level 2, then get a little bit of a mana boost, and I'll work with that. You can see I get it right there, and I'll have 77 mana. Pretty soon I think I use Dark Ritual on that ghoul right next to me, and I'm able to Nova that. I actually might go for the Demon Hunter instead. You see the Keeper comes back. Yeah, Sniffleback did not bother wasting sleep on it because we probably weren't going to be able to surround it. Although, if it was level 2 sleep, let me check. Yeah, it is level 2 sleep. Maybe if I also used my Acolyte doing it, we could have gotten him, but I don't know. At that time, we weren't sure if we were going to get it. So you can see right now the Demon Hunter goes down. He gets trapped. Actually, no, he didn't go down. He's at 3 health. The lucky bastard. He'll die eventually. So yeah. So you can see right now I finally have enough mana for the Frost Nova. I use it on the weak crit fiend. He dies. If I was able to use another one, that'd be a huge hurt. And actually I will be able to use another one because I ally Snuckle Doc, who came back with another huge army. Also bought a potion of mana, so that's going to help. I'm going to use the Frost Nova right away. And you can see I do it right there. Kill off the one fiend, and the other one's extremely weak. He'll just die in one shot. So now we're going to go in there and kill the Demon Hunter as well. Really, we should probably just run out right now, but we won't. We'll actually start to target acolytes, since we know that Necropolis is going down pretty soon. And if we take that out and all the acolytes, he can't do anything for the rest of the game. And that's great for us. But we aren't going to be able to get all of them. We'll get most of them, though. You can see a lot of them are really weak, so I'm just picking them off on my wand with my Lich. And we're going to get all but 2 of them, I believe. You can see the ally again comes in with the glaive thrower this time, and the keeper, so I had to run out. You can see the acolytes are all trying to repair again. I'll be using Dark Ritual on that ghoul, I think, right now. Or I'll be using it on skeletons. Yeah, I use it on the ghoul, because I want to get those acolytes in now. And I'm able to get 1 more in a second. Or, wait, no I don't. 2 of them are very weak and will die in like 1 shot. And Cynical Doctor did kind of a bad move. He sent his necromancers in too far. I think that's sort of a forget to send them back type of thing. So they get killed off very quickly. You can also see they're also sending in units too far and they get killed. So at this point, we can't really do too much. We can't get to the glaive thrower. It's too far back. There's too many towers for us to have to deal with. So I'm pretty soon I'm just going to let them take the towers. But first I'm going to make sure that Necropolis goes down, because once that's down, they're pretty much gone. Barring some sort of a really bad play by us. You can see down it goes right now, and he only has 2 acolytes, so he's basically stuck with those 2 acolytes for a long, long time. Because he has to obviously rebuild the entire Necropolis and etc. And he's actually going to want to have regular units, although he can always just ask his ally for gold, but obviously that's taken away from him as well. So you can see Cynical Doc wants to try and finish off the keeper, realizes if he does do that, he's going to die. And he almost does die, but he'll get away. He ran away soon enough, so yeah. You can see those 2 acolytes that Moose still has are forced to repair that 1 ziggurat, although I think that's kind of useless, so it's just a Nubian tower. It really won't be too big of a deal if that goes down, because what they really need is gold right now, since that's all he has. But anywho, maybe he left them on auto repair and didn't notice that they were actually repairing the tower. But yeah, eventually the Glithera finishes off the towers and they are safe. I told Doc on Overventrilo not to go in there and attack, even though it's a possibility he could have taken down the base. I didn't want to risk him losing things. So at this point, I'm finally go back to teching. You can see I'm very, very late, but it won't matter. We basically ruined them by doing that tower rush. Normally, though, we would push enough with the tower rush to win the game, but this time I didn't want to risk it. I knew we would have had it won anyways. So I'm going to throw up another crypt. I'm going to be doing 2 crypt ghouls. Eventually I'll switch over to gargoyles just in case he gets fairy dragons or chimeras or something like that. Since it's a night elf and he hasn't left yet, I'll just assume that. Or do we scout and see? I can't remember. One of the games we scouted and I eventually just switched to mass gargs. But oh well. And you can see he's obviously sticking with the necromancers. Basically with all my ghouls, they basically get slaughtered instantly, and that's just a lot of corpses for him to use. So yeah, he's starting to make gargoyles. Since we were both pretty much fitting fairy dragons, that would definitely hurt us big time. You can see he's making fairy dragons because he knew about those necromancers, so obviously he just built fairy dragons, and it's okay. But yeah, so it's kind of a boring part of the game. Actually, I think we should do this 2 times speed thing again, because it's pretty much boring the rest of the time. So click 2 times speed in 3, 2, 1, 2 times speed. Alright, there we go. You can see I also bought another Rod of Necromancy. I'm using it to slowly get some mana back for my Lich, so when I'm heading into battle I'm going to have like full mana probably. It costs some gold, but it's cheaper than actually buying a mana potion, and since I know I have the time, I'll just do this. And it works quite well. You can see I pretty much got all the mana of a mana potion with half the cost. And so here we go. I haven't actually started the gargoyles yet. I think I will, yeah, pretty soon. I'm actually going to start taking the Black Citadel as well. Basically I sent all my ghouls out. You can see there's a Death Knight that's running around. He's just trying to creepjack us and steal the experience. At this point I saw him running south, so I'm assuming he's making a little loop around. So here we go, right here. He gets slept in and surrounded, although the sleeping wasn't necessary. I already had him surrounded and I was clicking M right as he slept in, so it wouldn't have mattered. but who cares? This better be safe than sorry, I suppose. So here we go, we start right away. I go for the Ancient Wind first, just so he can't make any Talons anymore, or more Fairy Dragons, or just in case he was tier 3, he can't make Chimeras, since I really hate those things. So here we go, we start. You can see they actually have Immolation and Demon Hunter, which is a pretty good choice. Since he was second hero, they knew to get that, but it won't matter. He gets nuked pretty quickly by Nova and runs away. And pretty much it's just pure rape, since you know that Mu has nothing still. He just finally gets like his 5th acolyte, I think, and it's just started attack. So you can see the Tower Rush definitely still having huge effects on them. And we just stomp though all over them. They've actually run out of Wisp for the spell right now. So now if we were to summon more skeletons, they can't do jack about it. It's like the first time I've ever seen that happen. But yeah. So eventually they'll start to leave pretty soon. Don't bother with the GG. I don't really blame them. This strategy is pretty stupid, but it's funny that it works very well. And like I said, this is a 2-part game, so get that next replay to the 45-second mark. 1x speed. Okay, I'm back. You should be at the 45-second mark, 1x speed, and we'll get this started soon. So 3, 2, 1, on pause. Alright, again, we're using the same team, Undead. We're up against a Night Elf Orc on Avalanche. This was a tournament on a 2v2 Avalanche tourney. We didn't finish top 16. It's basically just when we started to do this strategy. And we didn't really know what to do against an Elf Orc, since obviously we can't really do that mass rush thing, because it gets eaten up pretty well against the burrows. And plus there's always that detonate thing we have to worry about for losing mana and having those skeletons dispelled. Although you could say you can still do it with the Liches or like the Lich Dreadlord against the Orc, but we think it's just better to do what we did this game, which is to go Crypt Lords and have mass summons and just take down the burrows instantly and just work from there and just take out the Orc base doing that. It's a bit risky as it doesn't always work, because the problem is that the Night Elf has a lot of hunches before you do that. They tend to tear you up pretty quickly. So since then we've altered the strategy a bit, but still it'll work okay for your purposes and for this audio. You can see our opponents this time are Woe Master, who's like level 25 random team, which puts him in the top 20, and Advocate, I don't know. I haven't looked up his stats. I don't really think his stats are all that important, but I just figured I'd mention them anyways. So you can see the build order this time, it's pretty much just like the last build order. The only difference is I don't have that other acolyte, and I don't get the 100 gold from my ally. So we're basically a bit delayed. And another problem with this strategy is if you get harassed and you don't have your Death Knight, you're kinda screwed. And you'll see that in a moment. I get pretty beat up early on, I believe. So you can see they're starting with the little standard Keep of the Grove with the Farseer cheese. It's really hard to stop. Even if I would have a Death Knight, I'd be in a lot of pain. So he goes right for the acolyte, he hits it twice, and I think that pretty much guarantees the kill. It might be 3 hits. I think it's only 2 though. And the Farseer comes in, he's going to take down my shop, which really delays me big time. Although the delay ended up winning the game for us. If they would have done that, probably had a chance of winning this, but oh well. So you can see he's just going to go after each acolyte. Since I don't have the Death Knight, I can't really stop him. And the ghouls are just trying to scare away the Orc while the Crypt Lord deals with the Keep of the Grove. My ally has to teleport in just to scare them away. I probably wasn't going to be able to stop this alone, although I might have been able to. So you can see right there that we get the Keeper surrounded, so he teleports away, which is extremely good since we know we're always going to hit the Orc with this. So if he teleports, he can't teleport to save his Orc base. So that's good for us. You can see we also almost got we had the Grunt surrounded, but we kind of lost it. Don't know why. So basically I had to rebuild the shop and rebuild my acolytes. I asked for gold from my ally. I think he gets it to me. Can't remember for sure though. Yep, there it goes. So I'm just going to rebuild everything quickly. And we're just going to wait for me to get the shop up so we can get my little skeleton wand, which I think it's very important that you have that. It just adds to the amount of units you have. And just replaces the ghouls that you eventually lose thanks to burrows and just regular AoE and keep entangle, etc, etc, etc. And honestly, we don't want to bother towering because, I don't know, we really could just tower any race we wanted if we bought the sacrificial skull, but I just think it's funnier to tower the undeads and just more convenient. So eventually the shot's about to get up. Since I'm at 30 out of 30 food, I obviously can't make anything else, so we're gonna go hit. Knowing the map is avalanche, and knowing that pretty much everyone tries to creep that fountain as early as possible, we're both gonna head to the middle and jack them. Although by the time I jack them, they probably already get everything. You can see they already picked up the item. Hood of Cunning, that's not really that great of an item. What would have been nice is like, or I can't remember. There's something that's really game-breaking at the fountain, I think. I'm not exactly sure. The crystal ball is very nice, though. So yeah. See, did I pick up a dust this game? Maybe I did. No, none of us picked up the dusty. We did pick up a sacrificial skull, though. Mainly just so we can heal faster. But yeah, as you can see there, it's also had a wisp there, just in case they were creep jacked, since they know we're massing summons, that'll hurt us a lot. They also picked up a Pandarian Brewmaster, and he hits a lot of units with this Drunken Haze early on. So anyways, we're going to start the fight here. Well, a lot of my ghouls are Drunken Haze, and you can see we outnumbered them big time. They really should have probably just ran from this battle, because I think it was pretty obvious that they had no chance. And all they're doing is just wasting units to us. So eventually, we can't really surround any heroes thanks to the Drunken Haze, and we know they're both running back to the Night Elf base, and the Night Elf doesn't have a teleport. So this is telling us we should hit the Orc. This will basically give us free opportunities at the burrows. We'll get them down before they both come there. Obviously, the Orc's not going to teleport there alone, because that just basically is telling him that he's going to get his army totally annihilated, and etc. So we go right in, right to the burrows, take those out first, and we'll focus on that right about now. And those will go down pretty quickly, since there's no real army there to stop us from doing anything. And down they go. And right after that, I think we start to focus fire on the stronghold right now, since I think we're pretty much guaranteed to take that down, no matter how much they try and repair it. And if they do try and mass repair, it won't work. So down it goes. Soon he tries to repair it, but he's not going to be able to do that very well. You can see he's at 36 out of 10 food. So yeah. And eventually he's going to spend a lot of gold trying to rebuild stuff, I think. Can't remember for sure though. I know he probably runs out of gold, so he can't actually rebuild his town hall or something. But yeah, finally they do come in. I focus fire the panda first. I really shouldn't have done that. He didn't realize he was out of mana. But yeah, eventually he will go down, so you know it's always a plus to kill a hero, even if he was kind of a useless one. But we're just gonna keep fighting them, take down their army. And basically you can see the Orc has no chance in hell of rebuilding, just like the undead in the previous game. He's going to try to rebuild his town hall. So basically it wasted all his resources, and he did not cancel it in time. So that also is huge, because now he can't rebuild it unless he gets a lot of gold from his ally. And even if he did rebuild it, he wouldn't be able to make any units for quite a long time, since he has 16 food of peons, or 11 food of peons at the moment, so he's not building anything for a while, even if he does get that town hall up. So yeah, pretty much you can see pretty much taking down the majority of their army, but we've also lost ours. You can see the peons are actually starting to attack us. Basically, that's all you have, so why not? And they actually are doing okay, but they could be doing better. You can see they can actually take down the beetles fairly well, since they don't have the most HP in the world. 220, 275, that must be in level 2. Or maybe not. I don't remember. But yeah. Yeah, that's a level 2. I think level 1's like 1 something. But yeah, I'm going to teleport out right now. I don't really feel like losing a level 3 hero. And I know that the Orc's pretty much done for. And you can see where this Doc's going to get up pretty soon. He had to teleport to my base earlier, so he might lose my hero for that. Actually, he won't whenever he gets away. Even though it's possible that they could have killed him off. He did have enough mana for an entangle, but he would have been safe probably, but with no health, or close to it. So you can see again he's going with the necromancers. Although I don't think there's any wagons this time, but I can't remember. Yeah, he doesn't get the chance to get too many of them. And I'm just going to sit in my base and wait for the blight to do its magic. And also add in a Death Knight second, just so I can heal myself a little bit better. Mainly just not for the nuking, at least right away. So So at this point, they realize they're screwed. So basically, when you think you're pretty much in big trouble, you do a latch state's effort and attack. Mainly after like a big battle that you lost, and you like lost your entire base, you would do that. And they'll just pray that they can take down my base. And if they can't, they'll just quit the game. Because you can't win 2-on-1 unless you like somehow manage to mass up air. But they know that's probably not going to work since we're pretty much both going to be a black citadel. And we can always just switch over to gargoyles or frostworms or whatever the hell we need. And we also have that little skeletal mage if we want it. Those are really good anti-air if you get enough wagons to help them out. So you can see they're going to start now. Let's bring up double slaughterhouse. Normally when we do this, I switch up to A-bombs. And you'll unholy frenzy them, so that's pretty nice too. So I was trying to surround the fire sphere, didn't get to do that, not fast enough yet. Mainly because I don't have the unholy aura. So I'm going to run back, wait for my ally to get in. I'm going to have to cancel on the slaughterhouses pretty soon. Yeah, I'll cancel that right before it finishes, I think. And my ally's going to be teleporting in right now. And basically, they can't handle all of these units. And you can see they don't have any wisp with them. I don't think they have and they have no teleport. So they're just going to be taking it pretty badly. And they'll leave the game in a few moments. So basically, yeah, it's just mass out rushing with numbers and just hope you can take down their bases. But pretty much we learned that this doesn't work extremely well with the hunters is for the night elves. So basically we've only made one minor change, and that's the hero choice. What we do is we make sure we hit the shop up early enough, and then we just research backpack and have one of our ghouls pick up the wand, and then we go hire a beastmaster with crow beasts. And those are really good because you can pretty much have 6 of them out at the majority of the time. So basically that helps give us a little bit of range so we can actually attack the burrows without too much problems with it. But most importantly, we're able to rip through the hunters pretty quickly. So it's pretty effective, although we've only tested it like once or twice. So, yeah. And there you have it. That's the 2-part audio again. Request songs, etc., etc. And I swear I won't take the first comment this time. Honestly.